Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Bhutang saranam gacchami, dhammang saranam gacchami, sanghang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi bhutang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranam gacchami. Tatyampi bhutang saranam gacchami. Tatyampi dhammang saranam gacchami. Tatyampi sanghang saranam gacchami. Panatipata veramani Sikapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani Sikapadang samadhiyami. Kame sumichachara veramani Sikapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani Sikapadang samadhiyami. Suramerya macha pamadatana veramani Sikapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to abstain from killing. I undertake the precept to abstain from taking what is not given. I undertake the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct. I undertake the precept to abstain from false and malicious speech. I undertake the precept to abstain from intoxicants which induce heedlessness. Karaniyang atta kusalena yantang santang padang abhisamecha saku ujucha sujucha suvachocha samuru anantimani santu sakocha subarocha Apakicho cha sallahukavutti. Santindriyo cha nipako cha. Apagabo kule suananugido. Nachakudam samachare kenchiena vinyupade upavadeyum. Sukhino vakemino hontu. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitata. Ye ye kechipana bhutati tasavata varava anavasesa degavaye mahantava majjimarasakanukatul Dita Vayeva Adita Ye Chedure Vasanti Avidure Bhutava Sambhave Siva Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitata Naparo parang nikubeta Nyati manyeta kata chinam kanchi Pyaro sanna patiga sanya Jnana manyasa dukkamicheya Matayatani yang puttang Ayusa eka puttang anurake Evam pisabha bhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang Mettang cha sabbalokasmim manasang bhavaye aparimanang Uttang adochatiriyancha asampadang averang asapatang Titang charang nisinova sayanova yavatassa vigantamido Etang satim aditeya Brahmang etang viharang idamahu Dittincha anupagamma silavam Dasanena sampanno Kame suvinaya gedam Nahi jatu gabaseyang Punyaeti. This, this is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depth, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Now we are calm and we are in the present, happily after the meaningful and melodical chanting. Let us stay with these feelings, calmness and happiness. Maybe some trust, some confidence, some faith. the same time. Many different thoughts come, and each thought wants to do something. Different things, different tasks, different motivations. Some thoughts are moral, some thoughts are ethical, and some other thoughts want to do unethical things. Basically, we do not like to do, we do not want to do. See how much pressure comes from the mind to do those emotional things, though they are ethical or unethical. How much force is behind us, and how much motivation is there. At the same time, we feel some subtle and gentle protection comes within, coming from the inside of us to protect us. The mind is always changing and it is moving from this extreme to the other, from black to white, white to black, within 1 second. Therefore, actually no need to depend on those mental pressure. Let us more be with this inner voice, inner protection, inner guard, and inner guide. Let's see how far we can agree with our inner self, with our inner voice, with the inner guide. Instead of wandering with changing thoughts, changing mind. With this agreement with the inner self, we realize and we feel and we experience this, that we are the stillness. The stillness is us. With this beautiful feeling and realization, slowly and mindfully, we may open eyes to participate to the discussion.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before we start the discussion, I have a request for Upul, if he can still hear me. Before the break, I could hear you very well, Upul, but after the break, I cannot. So can you please put the microphone close to your mouth or increase the volume? That will be very helpful because I don't understand anything.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I thought it was close to. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Upul.
I'm extremely sorry. I thought the microphone was next to my mouth. Maybe
Okay,
I can eat, no?
Is it okay for other people or is it just me?
I speak to my head because the speakers of my laptop also was a little loud. So I have my
I would try to speak louder.
I think it is actually better if somebody else is leading the discussion today because I can't hear.
You cannot hear?
Now it's better. Now it's much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I try to speak in this way.
Perfect.
I thought.
Perfect.
Okay.
This is very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So for those of you who maybe participate for the first time, my name is Paul, and I'm happy to lead this or to moderate this discussion. So if you have a question or if you would like to share something, there are two ways to do that. You can go to the bottom of your screen and you see chat. If you click on that, you can write your question and send that to me. So my name is Paul van Hooijdonk. There's only one Paul, so if you remember Paul, that's enough. And if you send it to me, I will present the question to Upul. So this is the first option. And the second option is that you simply raise your hand, and you can do that, let me see, by clicking on reactions, I think. Yes, on reactions. Also at the bottom of your screen. And then there is a hand on your left side. You can click on that hand, and then I see that you would like to raise a question. Or you can simply raise your hand of flesh and blood. That's also possible. So I see that there are several reactions in the chat box. Yeah, so somebody says it's better now. I can hear well. All right. Okay, so no actual questions. So maybe we can wait a little until somebody has formulated a question.
All Claudia raised her hand.
Yeah, I didn't see. Thank you. Please, Claudia, go ahead.
Hello, dear friends. I wanted to ask about, well, it's a Buddhist word or concept, free. As far as I understand, it's moral shame or something like that. That's how it's often translated. And I was wondering, because, well, it's just a technical term somehow, and I was wondering if this is what Upul actually was explaining just right now in the meditation, or when he says, just listen to the heart, or listen to the inner guide. Can I, is this what is probably meant with this Buddhist term free, which is in the translation often the word in English word, it's mainly used moral shame or something like that. And last time we had last day retreat was about forgiving, and Upal was as well, yeah, talking a lot about how we torture ourselves with guilty feelings. So I'd like as well to clearly understand the difference between kind of feelings of guilty and then this, yeah, kind of moral shame or free. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. I'm afraid I did not understand the word you mentioned, Shri or free, or what did you say?
Hri, H-R-I, I think it's mainly written in European letters.
Okay, never heard of it. So, Upul, the question of Claudia is the relationship between moral shame and this word that she mentions, that I don't know, and guilt. Could you please go a little into that?
Thanks, dear Paul, for moderating this Q&A session again. Yeah, no, not listening. Oh. And thanks, dear Claudia, for this question. It's a Pali word, Paul. Hiri, H-I-R-I, Hiri, Pali word. Yeah, moral shame, spiritual shame, or ethical shame. Moral shame, ethical shame, or spiritual shame. That means some kind of that somebody is pulling you back, especially when you are going to break the rules or break the discipline, that you feel that somebody is pulling you back. Somebody is not from outside, from inside. Say, don't do this, don't do this. It is shame to do this, shame to do this. And because of this moral shame, or because of this hiri, one can protect oneself easily, even though nobody knows what he or she is going to do. But we are not going to do it, even though nobody knows. Because the Buddha says there is no secret. No secret at all. No secret in the world. Even though you are fully alone, you are isolated. Nobody knows where you are and what you are doing. But your heart knows what you are doing. You know. Therefore, we better to listen to this inner guide, and better to make a strong connection with inner self, and better to have right understanding. Anyway, guilty, the feeling of guilty does not come from the heart. It comes from the mind. It comes from the head. It comes from the judging mind, judgmental mind. It comes. And my personal belief is we should not do anything because of the guilty conflict. We should not do anything because of the guilty conflict. For example, I know people who are smoking or taking drugs, but they are guilty about it. They are guilty. And then some of them stop smoking or taking drugs. They stop because of the guilty conflict, feeling of the guilty. And after stopping, still they are not happy because again they are guilty. Why I stopped? I should smoke. Why stop? So guilty comes again. So it is coming from the mind, not from the heart. The heart is worrying if we do not listen to the heart, and if we do whatever the mind wants to do, the heart is worrying, and heart is having sympathy for us, and then therefore it is encouraging us to live, to have an ethical life, and it is supporting us, it is pushing us to the path and motivating us. That's all. It doesn't create any guilty conflict. The heart can forgive us even though we did something by mistake. The heart can forgive us and it says, okay, don't worry about the past. Make a determination about the future, not repeating the same mistake again and again. So the heart is helping us to correct us. So there are strong differences between guilty conflict and this moral or spiritual shame or hiri.
Thank you, Upul. So maybe it is useful that I briefly summarize what Upul said. So it's a Pali word, hiri. This ethical or moral or spiritual shame holds you back when you are going to break the rules or when you are going to break the discipline. There is no secret, even when other people do not know, your heart knows what you do or what you want to do. You know deep in yourself. So you better listen to this inner guide. Guilt does not come from the heart. Guilt comes from the mind, from the judging mind. And we should not do anything because of the guilt conflict. For example, when somebody smokes or takes drugs and that person stops because of a guilty feeling, even when they stop, they are not happy. Our heart motivates us, but does not create a guilt conflict. So there is a difference between guilt and moral shame. Claudia, is there anything you would like to add?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. There is a question in the chat box, a question from Mar. Are intuition and truth related? Upul, is there a relationship between intuition and truth?
Thanks, Paul. Well, it depends about the idea on the truth. What you mean by the truth? You mean by the ultimate truth, or some relative truth? So it is depending on. Anyhow, anyhow, to have a peaceful life or harmonious life, if that is the true meaning for someone, peaceful and harmonious life, then of course the intuition leads us for harmonious life or peaceful life. So then there is a connection between true life, living truly, and the intuition. The intuition leads us or supports us to have a true life. True life means not an artificial life, natural flow. Now everything is so artificial in our life. Even thinking is so artificial. But if we follow our intuition, then the life becomes natural. Maybe we couldn't feel in the beginning, but after a while, when we have a good connection, when we establish a good relationship between ourselves and the intuition, then then the life moves smoothly, and then we feel that we are living truly. Before, no, we didn't have that feeling before. So therefore, of course, there is a connection and relationship between the intuition and the truth in this sense.
Thank you, Upul. So, Mar, is there a connection between intuition and truth? That was your question. It depends on what you mean with truth. To have a peaceful or an harmonious life, if that is the true means for someone, if that is a true goal for someone, or the intention, then intuition leads you there. So the connection is that the intuition leads us to leading an harmonious life, a natural life. Because in many cases, life is artificial these days. If you follow your intuition, then life becomes natural. And we feel that we are living truly. Mar, is that a clear answer to your question, or do you want to add something?
Thank you.
Hi. My question has to do with listening to your inner guide when you're surrounded by other people. I find it much harder to do, especially if those people have a different opinion or a different kind of energy than I do. Sometimes it makes it, or a lot of times it makes it difficult to hear what my inner guide is saying, especially if it's not random people, but like in a family gathering or like a work kind of gathering. And I was just wondering if Upul could speak a little bit about how to hear your inner guide better when it may be different than what people around you who you want to remain connected with may be saying or thinking at that time in the group setting. Thanks.
Thank you, Upika. The question is clear. So, Upul, the question is about listening to your inner guide when you're surrounded by others who have a different view or a different opinion. And sometimes it is difficult to hear our inner guide. So, do you have any tips how we can hear the inner guide better when we are surrounded by others who have a different view?
Thanks, Paul. Dear Pekka. Well, actually, it's a nice dream to have same kind of people who are having same ideas, similar wishes, and same pattern, same frequency. So what a nice dream, what a nice expectation. But the reality is not like that. So each one has own ideas, different opinions, different logic. So society means actually a collection of diversity. That's why it's called society. I could remember something from the Dhamma now. If one person is there, it is like a superior heaven, and two people, then it's a normal heaven, and three like a village, and more than three, it's a conflict. It's a fight. So so this is the nature. That's why it's called a society, a human society. We are not machines. If 10 mobile phones are staying together. Maybe 100 of mobile phones are staying together in shops, but no problem, no conflict, no fights, because they are machines. But we are not machines. Upekka, you are not a machine. And your family members, your colleagues, your staff, they are not machines, they are humans. And we have our own history, long history. And today you are coming from your long past journey. Your long past journey makes you. Your past creates you. And they have different past, different journeys. Therefore, they are different. And for them, they think you are different. So everybody has rights to think in this way, that she is different, he is different, not like us. And that is the truth. Somehow we are different. Maybe in a superphysical way, we are different. So differences are there. We have to accept it. We have to understand this. The intuition doesn't go against these superphysical differences. They have different ideas and they try to implant different ideas in our life, in our mind. And we also do these things in others' mind. We want to change them. So this is going on and on. With knowing or without knowing. And we need some kind of room in our mind for different ideas and opinions and advices. We should not be stick with our own opinions and our own ideas. We should not be stick, because they may have their own intuitions. Their own intuitions say them to do different things. And we have to look at it from this point of view as well. But when we go to the depth, then we are same. Differences are only existing on the surface. For example, I would like to eat rice and curry. And Upekka, you may like to have some noodles. And Paul, you may like to have some pizza. So we are different. But hunger is same. Hunger is same. No difference. It's same. Maybe the quantity can be different, but the feeling, the hunger itself is same. There is no Sri Lankan hunger or Belgium or American hunger. No, hunger is hunger. So in this way, we are same. But what we are going to do to the hunger, how to work with the hunger, what we are going to have, then our past comes. The past says, you are Sri Lankan. You had to eat rice and curry. No, you are European. You had to eat something else. You are American. You are somewhere else. So we can see how the past comes and try to respond to whatever we are experiencing, but the experiences are same. So there are differences. That's why identities are there. Identity, otherwise no identity. If we are all same, then no identity. Identities are there, and at the same time, we are same. When we go to the bottom, we are same.
So, Upeka, it's a nice dream that the people around us should have the same view or opinion as ourselves. That is a nice expectation, but reality, as you mentioned yourself, is that people have their own ideas. Society means that it's a collection of many different people. And we are not machines. Each one of us has a long history. Your past creates you. And everybody has a different journey or a different past. For the other people, you are different. And it's good to have some room in our mind for other people's ideas. So we have to look at others' point of view as well. And then Upul said, if you look deeply, you see that differences only exist on the surface. For example, Upul is Sri Lankan, you are American, I am Belgian. We have a different taste. We are hungry. We choose something different. Upul might choose rice, you might choose noodles, and I might choose pizza. But the hunger that is underneath those experiences, or the hunger that is underneath those differences, is the same. When we are going to do something about it, then the past comes in. So the differences, the identities exist on the surface, but when you go deeper, when you go to the bottom, you see that we are the same. Is there anything you would like to say more?
No, just thank you.
Thank you. There is a question of Venerable Dhamadipa in the chat box. Upu mentioned in the morning a relationship between honesty and truthfulness. Could he please say something more about that? Thanks. So Upu, could you say something more about the relationship between honesty and truthfulness?
So today all questions are related to all the questions are on relationships. Well, honesty and the truthfulness. The honesty is the feeling or the base or the foundation for the truthfulness. The truthfulness comes from the honesty, feeling of honest. Otherwise, we can't be truthful. First, we had to be honest with our feelings. And our ideas, we had to be honest That's the thing what the mindfulness is doing, what the awareness is doing. The awareness is so honest, so open, and so equal to whatever we experience. So that's why it is displaying things just as they are. This is one of the beautiful qualities of the mindfulness, the awareness, the honesty. Like a mirror, we always use this metaphor or the example to explain the mindfulness or the awareness. It is behaving as a mirror. I think the mirror is one of the best examples for the honesty. The mirror is so honest to the ugliness as well as the beauty. So honest. That's why it is reflecting a true reflection. That's why it is displaying a true reflection. Otherwise, reflection can be a fake or lie. Therefore, there is a strong relationship between the honesty and the truthfulness. We had to accept if somebody says, Upul, you have done something wrong, then I have to look at myself first. Did I do? And if yes, then I had to accept. Yes, I have done. I can say, no, I didn't do. But my heart knows that I have done it. And then I make myself, I split out myself into two pieces or many pieces. And then no harmony, no unity, no composed mind. Therefore, the honesty is the basement or the foundation for the truthfulness.
Thank you, Upul. So, Sister Damadipa, honesty is the feeling or the foundation of truthfulness. First, we have to be honest with our feelings, and then we can come to truthfulness. And this is where mindfulness practice comes in. Awareness sees things as they are. Honesty is like a mirror. And the mirror is so honest. It reflects ugliness and beauty, just the way they are. It displays a true reflection. So there is a strong relationship between honesty and truthfulness. When somebody says, you did something wrong, I have to look, I have to see, I have to check. If it is true, then we have to accept it. If we do not accept it, if we say, no, this is not true, then we create conflict in ourselves, because deep down we know. Then there is no unity, no harmony. So honesty is the foundation of truthfulness. Would you like to ask something more or say something?
No, thank you. That was very nice. Even to repeat it. Thank you.
I would like to add something more. Something came to my mind. That's why. Well, we can justify our feelings and our emotions and our mistakes. Usually, that's the thing what the mind is doing, justifying. Either saying no, I'm not angry, or just try to justify. And in this way, I stronger than the love, because we can say love, I love you, but actually no love. Without having love, feeling of love, we say we love you. So it's a fake love, no love. But when we say we are angry, it is truly we are angry. If we are not angry, we don't say we are angry. I angry with you. Therefore, anger is more true, more honest than the love can be than the love. Not always, but can be. And the second thing, I can give an example. There was a well-known meditation master, and everybody, not everybody, but his disciples believed him as an enlightened person, enlightened master. He himself claimed as an enlightened master. He was in Sri Lanka in a couple of years ago. Anyhow, but if somebody asks some questions which he doesn't like, then he's angry. His answers are very aggressive. And if you do not follow what he asks you to do, then again, the way he reacts it looks like very aggressive. And then one day, one of the disciples asked this question, "Dear sir, you are an enlightened person, so you should not have anger in your mind. You should be free from the anger. But the way you react, the way you behave, the way you talk is very aggressive, full of hatred is there. How do you clarify this?" Then he said, "This is not an ordinary anger. This is spiritual anger." So no one can ask anymore. If you say this is spiritual anger, then that's all.
Paul, we don't hear you.
Okay, sister, this is what Upul added. We can justify our feelings, emotions, and mistakes. So that is what the mind does. The mind says, no, I didn't do that, or justifies itself. And then Upul spoke about love and about anger. And he said, anger is more true. You can say, I love you without the feeling. That is fake love. But you cannot act out anger and say, I am angry when it is not true. So in that sense, anger is more honest than love. And then there was Upul told the story of a meditation master, enlightened master. He claimed to be enlightened in Sri Lanka, and questions that he did not like, he answered in a very angry and aggressive way. And then somebody said, you should not have anger, but the way you react is full of hate. And then this master said, this is not ordinary anger, this is spiritual anger. So, you have anything else to ask or no? Okay, thank you.
I think my truth.
Sorry?
Also, I see my truth.
Okay.
Nothing to say anymore.
A question from Ineke. I wonder if it is possible to live only with the inner guide in daily life. What do you think, Upul? Is it possible to live your life and to only listen to your inner guide in daily life?
Thanks, Paul, again. And dear Ineka, well, life is life. There is no daily life, weekly life, monthly life, and yearly life. Life is life. The life is life. There is no daily life, morning life, evening life, and monthly life. Life is life. So it is possible. It is possible to live with the inner guide in our life. That is possible. But it doesn't mean that we should do everything at that moment. Whenever we have some guidance, then we have to follow those guidance right there. No, we can take some time. We can find the right place, right time, and right people. If we feel that these people are not right or not suitable for this action, then we can avoid or we can wait. So that's the thing. That's why we need some other skill or skills. Otherwise, that's why it is called inner guide. Inner guide, not inner carrier. Not inner carrier. If it is inner carrier, then we don't have to do anything. The inner carrier is carrying us. No, it is only guiding us. So we have to use our knowledge and our reflection. We have to do on reflection, on contemplation. This is the way how we become mature, how we get the wisdom. Otherwise, no wisdom if we just follow a guide. Then actually we can't be matured. We can't be wise. So therefore, whatever guidance is there, even the Buddha is there, and if the Buddha is guiding us, the Buddha taught us to reflect, do your own reflection, do your own contemplation before you act, before you follow the Buddha's guidance.
So, Ineke, I think that actually the essence of what of Upul's answer is, whatever guidance you take, do your own reflection before you follow. Is that an answer to your question? I'm not sure actually if it's an answer to your question. I understood your question in a different way. Is it an answer to your question?
Yeah, it's a good answer, because it's nice. Upol said there is no difference between daily life. Life is life, and the most important thing is to reflect on what we're doing and to get to become wiser. So yeah, thanks a lot. It's very helpful for me. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question from Claudia. How does truthfulness lead to freedom? Upul, how does truthfulness lead to freedom?
Well, freedom, it is something, it is not in anywhere. The freedom is not in anywhere. It's an incident which is happening within us. We make ourselves free. Actually, there is no freedom. It's a noun. But what is really happening is we had to make ourselves free. It is up to us, not up to the freedom. So we have a choice. We can make ourselves, we can imprison ourselves, we can make shells or prisons for ourselves, or we can make ourselves free. So both are depending on us. And we make prisons, shells for ourselves because of misunderstandings, because of wrong understandings. Actually, we did not create any prison. We did not imprison ourselves with this intention. I want to make a prison for myself. No one can do it. No. But with the different understanding, with the misunderstanding or wrong understanding, we do. We believe this is the way to make ourselves free. But actually, that's the way to put ourselves in a prison. Therefore, we had to understand, or we had to find out the right path and the wrong path. There are two paths, two ways, right and wrong. So the right path, we can say true path, and the other path, it is not a path. It looks like a path, but actually it is not a path. It is if we think it's a path, but it doesn't bring us to anywhere, it is always putting us where we are right now. So therefore, it's a fake path. It is not a true path. Only one true path. The path is always true. So that's why we have to be truthful. The truthfulness is one of the factors of this path, the truthfulness. I think it's clear.
So, Claudia, freedom happens within us. It is up to us. We can imprison ourselves or we can make ourselves free. We create prison cells for ourselves because of wrong understanding. We believe this is the way to make ourselves free, but actually we imprison ourselves. That is the wrong understanding. And then Upul spoke about the right or the true path, and the other path is the wrong path or the fake path, which does not bring us any further. So there is only one true path, and truthfulness is one of the factors of this path. Do you have anything to add?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I can raise a question, Upul. I was touched by your story of the monk who was wearing, the young monk who was wearing a dirty robe and who was not shaved and who looked ugly. And then this young mother who said, "You look so beautiful." And then the monk shaved and showered and was wearing a clean robe. And then this young mother said, "Today you look so beautiful. Oh, sorry, today you look so ugly." And then you said, which was kind of the summarize, I think, of or the central idea of the story that you were telling. You said, beauty comes from the inside. I think that was really beautiful. So maybe you can say something a little more about this. What do you exactly mean with beauty comes from the inside?
Thanks, dear Paul, for your appreciation and feedback. Well, yeah, we can dress ourselves beautifully. We can dress ourselves beautifully. We can wear beautiful clothes. And we can wear beautiful glasses, and we can make beautiful hairstyles, so and so. But yeah, then we want to show ourselves to others that we are beautiful. That's why we are smiling. We are smiling when somebody takes photos of us. Why we are smiling? Because we want to show that we are beautiful. We think that when we smile, we become beautiful. So what we are doing is we just plant a smile in our lips, face. And then the camera took a photo. So and the photo, yeah, he's smiling, or she's smiling, oh, looks so beautiful. That's the only thing what the camera can do. But maybe inside of us is different. Maybe the heart is crying in that moment. The heart is having a deep pain. The heart cannot smile. So that smile is very artificial, a fake smile. So no camera can do that. No camera can take an X-ray photo of the heart. Even the X-ray machines cannot take that photo of the heart, the sadness of the heart, the sorrowful feeling of the heart. So therefore we can deceive others with this artificial beauty. And my idea and my experience and my understanding is the smiling is not always beautiful. And if you have this feeling that somebody is smiling, but that smile is not honest, it doesn't come from the heart. If you have this feeling, then it is so ugly. You see the ugliness of the smile if the smile is not honest. And but if somebody is crying, and it can be more beautiful than smiling if that person is crying out of the true pain, then that tears are more beautiful than that artificial and fake smile. But again, if you have this feeling that the person is crying to get something from you, it is not the real crying, real tears. It's very fake tears. Then again, you cannot see the beauty of these tears. You feel the ugliness of the tears. So therefore, what I want to tell you is that the beauty is not depending on the smile or crying, smiling or crying. It is depending on the honesty feeling. If you are honest, then it is beautiful. The honesty is always beautiful, and dishonesty is always ugly. It doesn't matter what you are doing, what you are having, what you are wearing. The true beauty is not depending on that.
Thank you. So before I give the final word to Upul to come to a conclusion of this meditation day, I would like to briefly mention that those of you who would like to donate, to give dana, to make a financial contribution, can do so. And we use I see that there's another question from Jerry. What shall I do? Let me have a look. We have a few more minutes. Okay. You know what, Jerry? I simply finish what I'm going to say, and then I will read out your question, and Upul can use it in his conclusion. Shall we do it like that? Okay. So those of you who would like to make a financial contribution can do so. We use Claudia's bank account in Germany. You find the number in the invitation letter. I think that is the most important thing that I needed to say. Let me see. So this is Heri's question, Upul. This is the last question. I often feel guilty because of negative feelings towards others, like jealousy. I find it difficult to hear what my heart tells me. My mind spreads out to many persons, and there is a big restlessness in my head. How can I listen to my heart more? So here this question is, I often feel guilty because of negative feelings to others, like jealousy. That's one thing. Another thing is, I find it difficult to hear what my heart tells me. My mind spreads out to many persons, she says, and there is a big restlessness in my head. How can I listen to my heart more? So basically, I think these are the two questions. She feels guilty because there are negative feelings to others, like jealousy. 1 and 2, how can she listen to her heart more? We'll listen to you, Upu.
Thanks, Paul, again, and thanks for the announcement too. Dear Gary, well, what I could say is all are mind games made by the mind. Whatever we experience, the guilty feeling or the jealousy or whatever, made by the mind. The jealousy made by the mind. And then the mind is asking you to be jealous. And the mind says, you have rights to be jealous. And we believe it. And that's why we act out of the jealous. So we act with the jealousy. And after that, the mind says, oh, you should not be jealous. The jealousy is very negative feeling. It's a sin. Why you have done this? So the mind makes us guilt now. Now we are guilty. And then the mind again says, therefore you have to punish yourself. You have done something sin, therefore you have to punish yourself. And then we believe, yes. So always we say, yes, yes, yes. From the beginning to the end, when the mind says, you are expecting a beautiful car or beautiful position, beautiful, or mind says, we said, and then we expect a promotion. And then maybe we didn't get the promotion. Somebody else, a colleague took the promotion. And then the mind says, oh, see, you didn't get it. That person got it. So you have to be jealous now. Again, we said, yes, I had to be jealous. And then we are jealous. And then the mind says, you had to act out of jealous. You had to say something. You had to write a letter or whatever. And then we do, yes, we do. And after doing everything, the mind says, why you have done this? These things, those are negative things. They are very bad karma. Why you have done? You are a negative person. You are going to hell now. So we say, yes, we are going to hell. This is the way we are going to hell. No one can bring us to the hell except our own mind. And the own mind makes hell for us. So because of this capability, we can use our mind to make our own heaven by changing our thinking, the way we think. We can think positively. By thinking positively, we can create our own heaven. So instead of jealousy, we can practice sympathetic joy, mudita. We have to practice it. We have to make an effort to practice this. We have to forget about the guilty conflict and jealous. We have to forget everything. We can see how possible to appreciate someone else's happiness, someone else's comfort, even though we do not have it. So by making an effort, yes, we can appreciate others' happiness, well-being. We can cultivate sympathetic joy. Then we are in heaven. With the sympathetic joy, with mudita, we are in heaven. With the feeling of guilty, we are in the hell. So both are created by our own mind in this very life. Therefore, my suggestion is do not depend on the negative thinking. Please do not depend on the negative thoughts. Try to be positive. Be positive and act positively. Then you are free from those both guilty conflict and all the other negative feelings.
Okay, Hiri, maybe I briefly summarize what Upul said. All are mind games, guilt and jealousy. The mind says you have the right to be jealous. And then after that, the mind says you should not be jealous. Feel guilty now, and you feel guilt. And then the mind says, now you have to be punished because of being jealous. So all are mind games. No one can bring you to hell except your own mind. And we can also make our mind a heaven. That is an option that we have when we think positively. So instead of jealousy, we can also practice mudita. Guilt, the feeling of guilt is hell. Sympathetic joy is heaven. So do not depend on negative thoughts. Be positive. You have anything to say or to add, Giri? No? Okay, thank you. So Upul, I give the final word to you.
Well, dear venerable Sangha and dear Nilambe friends, yeah, at the end of the day, for me, this is the end of the day. And for someone else like Upekka, this is the beginning of the day. And Paul, are you still in India?
No, I'm enjoying the beautiful weather in Belgium at the moment.
Oh,
Very hot.
you are back.
Very hot here.
Back in yeah, so yeah, nice evening for you. So anyhow, I personally feel a little bit intense day because the topic is intensive topic, and questions are also very challengeable, not like previous sessions, previous retreats. So anyhow, I'm really, to be honest, I feel grateful for those challengeable questions, because it makes me more alert and more aware before I say anything. And I have to reflect. So thank you very much for all the participants, all Nilambe friends, to join this one-day retreat lively and listening to what we said and also asking questions. Maybe we are alone in different places, but time to time when we gather together, then we don't feel that we are alone. We feel that the path is still live and visible because of our spiritual practitioners, friends, and we all need this company for time to time. And thank you very much, dear Paul, for spending your valuable time to make this discussion beautiful and rich. And you have done it very nicely. And dear Claudia and Ma, once again, thank you very much for organizing this retreat. Even though both of you are busy in different ways. And thanks, dear Claudia, for doing this chanting, and dear Ma, thanks for teaching yoga as well. Additionally, to this organizing this retreat. Anyhow, let us try to be honest as much as possible. And if we are unable to be honest, then let us accept this. Let us accept. Let us say, I can't be honest. To be honest, I can't be honest. This is the message for this month. And this is the last retreat of this year. So we may see in the next year, New Year. So have a nice evening, nice day, nice morning for all of you, and good night. May you continue your practice happily and peacefully.